Hi. This is Srinivasan, a fine art photographer, a distance skater, and a small time freelance skater who does bicycling as a cross training process to my main activity, long distance skating. Has come to meet you guys with another video. If you are new to my channel, I make videos about fine art photography or photography in general, and bicycling, walking, and long distance skating. Okay, so not much on walking. Okay, and these are things I do. So I don't talk about stuff which is general, but I talk about stuff that is happening in my life with those things. Okay, a slice of life of walking, slice of life of bicycling, slice of life of long distance skating, slice of life about photography or fine art photography, the things that I do. Okay, so there'll be here and there sprinkles of my personal life as well. Okay, so yeah, what are we going to talk about today? Events about Skate IDSA. Okay, so Skate IDSA is the governing body for long distance skating, who are partnered with various organizations and sponsors to conduct and spread the sport long distance skating all over the world. So they'll be part of Europe, they'll be part of Asia, they'll be part of any other places where they want to make some stuff with long distance skating and conduct the races and spread the good word to everyone. Okay, so what can we do here? We can do like talk about events. Okay, so they have a tab called events, and when you hit that, below that you can see there are two options: the wall and the upcoming events. In the drop down menu, choose the upcoming events. You'll be able to see the events that is happening in the month of July. So it's 2nd July. So for the month of July, you have 4 events happening: UK Ultra Skate, Poker Push, Lausitzer, Sceneland, Half Marathon 2024, and 12th Annual Push for Awareness and all that. Okay, I couldn't find data about the June. Okay, because that's where we are here right now. We are going to talk about some event that happened in June. Okay, so this event and Tour de France started in the same day. Okay, Tour de France Stage 1 happened on the 29th of June, and Dutch Ultra Skate event happened on 29th of June. Okay, so we are here to talk about Dutch Ultra Skate. Okay, so I've got my script on my mobile phone, not the exact script, just bullet pointers. Okay, so I might probably look at this a little bit here and there and talk to you guys, because it's really hard to remember everything. Okay, so firstly, I want to congratulate the organizers of Dutch Ultra Skate and people behind Skate IDSA team, and people behind every single sponsor, who's sponsoring the Dutch Ultra Skate event, and the participants of Dutch Ultra Skate event 2024 and winners of Dutch Ultra Skate events. Big kudos, congratulations. You have successfully conducted a race and finished it successfully with great cheer and lovable parting. Okay, so I'm so glad that this happened. Dutch Ultra Skate happened this year. It did not happen last year, and this year it has happened in the 6-hour format, quarter of the Ultra Skate format. Okay, so first one to come was the Asia Ultra Skate, and then which was happening in Singapore, and it was 6-hour race, and after that followed by Dutch Ultra Skate, which was 6 hours as well. So kudos to everyone, and this video is coming on my own. Okay, so I did not actually talk to any of the members of Dutch Ultra Skate or any other people in the event who was involved in organizing it, because this is out of pure mad enthusiasm and for the love of the sport. Being a distance skater myself, I just want to talk about Dutch Ultra Skate 2024, which happened this year in 29th of June, and I've got some data which is available for general public in complete public forums. I want to use that and talk about something and my like kind of understanding or what is happening and how people have been performing and all that thing, out of sheer enthusiasm for this sport. Okay, so it all's probably kind of permissible in the fair use policy, and being say like coming from a far land like India, yeah, maybe you can consider this as some sort of media commentary. Okay, this is not going to be definitely extremely critical. It's not going to be like extremely negative. It's not going to be like constructive and all that, but I can say that this is about spreading positivity about the sport, long distance skating. Okay, that's the very first point that I want to make here and emphasize in double quotes, underlined by red line. Okay, so thank you so much. Hope every distance skater and and the in the distance skating community kind of continue. Let me continue do this. For the love of this sport. Okay, hope I keep and live up to their expectation, or like try to do the fair thing that I can do. Okay, so next, where we are heading, we saw the skate ideas website. We won't need that right now, and or let that be you. It's not going to be harm us. It's not going to be harming us. Okay, so let's go to the Facebook page. This is the uh, Facebook page for Dutch Ultra Skate. It's available for everyone, and everyone can access it and like and follow their updates. Okay, that's their Dutch Ultra Skate logo as seen in the Facebook page, in their post. Okay, so Dutch Ultra Skate 6th edition was announced in 13th of February. So kudos to that. Since then, we were so much eager about how and where and how they want to do and all that. Okay, so the registrations were opened by 8th of April. They were expecting a limit of 120 people. Okay, and this the Ultra Skate was happening in Netherlands. Okay, we will look at the place shortly. That place name is a little bit of difficult for me to pronounce properly, and by the way, I am from India, so my accent is going to be Indian. I might do some grammatical errors, and I might miss this is what that they kind of simple things. So kindly forgive me, and and be kind in your comments, and let me allow me to improve and grow together, and please correct me if I'm doing anything wrong or saying anything wrong or pronouncing anything wrong. Okay, so congratulations to Andre Abme Photography. So they have been doing an incredible job in conducting Dutch Ultra Skates. That's the credit to the PC photo credits. So Andre Abme Photography, you guys are awesome. I've been following them for like 4 years now, since the day I heard about Dutch Ultra Skate. So he has been covering most of the Dutch Ultra Skate events, and all the photographs taken by him were amazing. Okay, so this is the Dutch Ultra Skates racetrack. Okay, so the line that you see there is the starting point. Okay, and people go around about and finish it. I do not know which direction is the start point, which direction they are moving. Okay, so I think the rectangle says that they are starting in the opposite direction. Okay, probably this side. Okay, I couldn't predict it right now. Hope you can understand why I'm. Is the brush on? Yeah, I will need a red one here. Yeah, I think that is the direction. You can follow the red line, right? So probably that is the direction they go and finish the lap. Okay, so this racetrack has a lot of turns, twists, and all that. We do not know where there is a downhill part, where there is a slightly upper part, but in my understanding, the entire racetrack is almost flat, and it's, if you find any elevation, it's under 3 meters. Okay, so it's permissible. Okay, and where are we? Oh, I'm still having the brushes on. So that's the racetrack. We have the first sponsor, or one of the sponsors, Melon Kake. MK Longboard Space Track was offered as the sponsorship gift. and they have been finalizing the design for the t-shirts. It's very organized. They have been dropping in all the updates on the Facebook and Instagram page for everyone to know. They have kept it open as much as possible. We have G-Bomb sponsoring the event. We had Thin Life. Yeah, Thin Life from Singapore, who conducted Asia, who were also part of Asia Ultra Skate, its Singapore edition, sponsoring Dutch Ultra Skate stuff, and we had Rocket sponsoring the event. Okay, and as far as we had Excel sponsoring the event, and Antitoad. Okay, and these are the t-shirts they made for the Dutch Ultra Skate. That's probably the logo. Let's give a second for it to load. Okay, that's the logo, and that's the t-shirt with sponsor's name, and that's the front side of the t-shirt. That's amazing. And that's Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel, one of the important organizers of Dutch Ultra Skate, and beside him is Rick Pronk. Okay, so they are both with the boards and all that. Look at this smile, cheer, creates positivity, and you feel like you want to be part of Dutch Ultra Skate. Don't we? Yeah, but I couldn't, because like I am staying in a far land. It's flying to Europe is really an unimaginable thing for me. Okay, so yeah, what we have here is Dutch Ultra Skate with Pantheon sponsoring Dutch Ultra Skate, even with bearings and Hoku and Karma wheels, I believe, or Adam Arnold's wheels. I have to check on that. Okay, but they are sponsoring good stuff. Okay, that's awesome. And then we have seismic skates, bayonet skates with some seismic wheels, and finally, there is a group photo that we have from the day of the event. Okay, allow the Facebook to load that picture. Okay, so this is the game I always like to play when I want to identify or learn about the long distance skating, how much I've been involved with the Facebook groups and talking about long distance skating. Lately I've been sharing a lot about long distance skating in my Bharat India's long distance skating group, which I'll talk about in the future. Okay, so my identification game is like, this is Tim. This is, I need red on the screen. So this is Mr. Tim Vershaw, and this is Mr. Paul McMahon. This is Mr. Rick Pronk. Hope the red lines are visible. That's Mr. Rick Pronk. This is Andreas. He is La Makina. This is Miss Lena Mirindal, entrepreneur, owner of MK Longboards. This is Miss Viola Vonat. And you have Mr. Paul from Beernut Skate Trucks. And if forgive me if I'm identifying them wrong, this is Miss Roseanne De Lange, and this is Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel, and the list goes on, and I could identify very little people. And we have Endosix Sip. He was the very first person to give me an interview. Thank you so much. I have so much respect for your work. And then we have many other people. Mrs. Moniz Kruzwick, and then I think this must be Edwin. Edwin has to be there somewhere. So then we have, forgive me if I had identified people with a different name, because I come from a far land and it's really hard to identify in the very tiny picture. We have Sashkia and many other lovely long distance skaters. Okay, so they rocked the show. I think Miss Nicole Zanakis, and this is son of Mr. Andrew Sixip, and yeah, a lot more good stuff. Okay, these long distance skaters, I've been going through their regular life, and then we come over all the personal life struggles and forget everything and be able to participate in such wonderful races. Kind of gives them a stress buster and stuff like that. I know a few people here. I don't want to point out who and say their personal stories, but they are wonderful people. I knew about them only when I approach them for the interviews. So that's the group picture for Dutch Ultra Skate 2024. They have done a wonderful job. And we have the leaderboard, as in the winners of long distance skaters. Okay, women Viola Bonnet with 125.52 kilometers. Lena Meringdal also at 125.52 kilometers. Laura Perimbala 119.24 kilometers. I'm sorry, you got to say it in individual digits after decimal point. Then men's Rick Pronk at 141.21 kilometers, Leonard Van de Peppel at 141.21 kilometers, Mr. Paul McMahon 141.21 kilometers, also at 141.21 kilometers. Then how did they classify 1, 2, and 3 on the podium? That's the interesting part. We are going to get to that later. Okay, you got to wait for it. Okay, then comes Masters age 50 plus. Okay, we have Holger Witzel at 109.83 kilometers, Barney Brumer at 109.83 kilometers, Ralph Mers 106.69 kilometers. Okay, I'm very fortunate, and distance skating community and distance skaters have been very kind to me. So I do follow a few of the people on Instagram, and I am friends with few of the people on Facebook. So they are amazing people. So then you have the SUP plus a paddle push. Okay, paddle push and pump. Okay, so Mr. Stefan Granzo at 122.38 kilometers, Joey Van de Kerkhoff at 91 kilometers, and then you have Sabrina Abyss Lyman 87.86 kilometers, and the SUP paddle and pump, only pedal and pump. And you have Mr. Andy Andras at 131.79 kilometers. Paddle and pump means you only use the land paddle and you pump on the board. Once you are on the board, you don't step out of the board. You don't keep your leg down on the ground and push forward. Okay, that is the separate category. SUP, stand up paddling plus push and pump. Here you have SUP, stand up paddling. That's it. You are either paddle or either you pump. Pump as in like surf skate. Okay. So those are the results, and we have the lovely pictures also from, I think PC credits go to the same person who took it. Okay. So the place where this happened was Spandam, Netherlands. Okay. You'll find a different name in Strava. Okay, Spandam, Netherlands, that's where it happened. So standing first in the podium is Viola Bonnet, second is Miss Lena Merindel, and third is, forgive me, I couldn't remember, that's Laura Perimbala. Okay, on the second picture we have Mr. Rick Pronk in the first place, Leonard Van de Peppel on the second place, Mr. Paul McMahon on the third place. So, and the picture goes on. I would, in the Masters category, we have Barney Bruma. I could identify Barney Bruma, and we have two other people sharing the podium in the first and third place. Okay, I've read the names. Please do check them. Okay, kindly forgive me. It's only my shortcoming and my rusty memory. And that's Stefan Granzo in the first place, and other two people, second and three. I've mentioned their name before. Please do check the list. So they are awesome. They have done a wonderful job. Then you have Andre Andras, La Makina. Okay, so he did a skate across America last year. So these people are avid athletes. Okay, so let's close this. That's the Facebook page and with the results. Okay, so where do we want to get from here? We definitely wanted to learn about Dutch Ultra Skate and the Dutch Ultra Skate's wonderful racers performance during the race. And this is the Instagram page of Dutch Ultra Skate. Okay, I want you to go and check that as well. Okay, if you want to know the links, I'll just hold the QR code for a few seconds. You can scan them. This is the Facebook link for Dutch Ultra Skate page. You can definitely take it right away from the screen. Okay, scanning it with your mobile phone, or take a screenshot and then go to your QR scanner, load this image. It will probably load the page for you or give the link for you. So that is Facebook page. And when you go to Instagram page for Dutch Ultra Skate, that's the QR code for Dutch Ultra Skate. I'll leave it there for 5 seconds. You can easily scan them. Okay. And you can also visit the dutchaltraskate.com, which is a clickable link from the Instagram page, either from your mobile or from the desktop computer. Right now I'm on my desktop computer, so it will be easy for you to check on that. Okay, so finally we are approaching the results page. Okay, so do you remember the racetrack we saw here in the Facebook page a few minutes before? Okay, this racetrack's details is this. Okay, so this racetrack has one lap distance of 3.138 kilometer or 1.9498 miles. Okay, 3.138 kilometers converted to miles, which comes as 1.9498 miles or 1.95 miles, you could call it, or 3.14 kilometers if you want. Okay, if you want to round off the value. Okay, that's what Strava had done, I believe, but I'm not sure. Okay, don't take my word just like that. Okay, so when you go to the results tab, if you want to check on the results page, okay, I'll give the info there and I'll hit the QR code. You can scan the QR code and know the link of this particular page by yourself. Okay, I'm going to hold it there for a few seconds so that you can go to the page and follow if you were watching my video and also want to follow what I'm talking about, from the live myraceresults.com's page for Dutch Ultra Skate 2024 6th Survey edition event, which happened in 29th of June 2024. Okay, probably that's long enough for you to scan. Let's go to the results. We have overall results, category results, and lap details. Okay, so lap details is much more detailed effort made by every single athlete who participated here. And again, these results are coming from not with the GPS watch or GPS unit which the athletes had on their own, which they owned it, like be it Garmin or Sunto or Polar or any other smartwatches, which track your GPS activity, all those things. It is not accounted here. What Dutch Ultra Skate My Race Results 6th of edition, June 29th of June 2024 race results is talking about is the microchip which they gave you, which can track your laps. Okay, starting from the starting point, and when you close the loop, it's considered as one lap. That is the result that is being put up in this website. Okay, your GPS results or your GPS data of the distance or your lap timer or your lap loop of your GPS watch or any other GPS unit which you had on the day of the race, say Dutch Ultra Skate 2024 6th hour edition, is immaterial. So decision is all coming from this. Okay, this lap chip. Okay, so first I'll just hit the overall results and keep it there. Okay, I don't want to talk anything right now. So I want to talk about something here, about the factors which we should consider when you're analyzing these data of the people who have participated in such races. Okay, so there are plenty of races happening. Okay, when you consider 2024, we have Miami Ultra Skate which happened in February, and then we had the Lausitz race, then you have Singapore Ultra Skate race, and many other roller skating race which I don't know about which had happened in Europe. Okay, which I couldn't remember right now. Okay, Singapore Ultra Skate, and then 3 days Chief Ladiga race in the US, the presidential race, and in between we had May warm-up challenge from Skate IDSA, which is happening individually, and then we have the La 2-day longboard from Skate IDSA for the year 2024, and we are moving on to the stage 2 now. Stage 1 has completed, and then you have the Dutch Ultra Skate. In the forthcoming month we have UK Ultra Skate and all these things. Okay, then we have Misfits, Flaming Runde coming in the forthcoming months. Okay, so these things definitely affect the performance of the athletes. How does it affect? These races have happened already. How this could affect the performance of the athlete? Consider I am a racer and I'm very avid long distance skater, and I'm participating in every single race that has happened in 2024. every single title that has happened in 2024. Imagine how mentally I would have been affected by this. Remember, so if I'm participating in Miami Ultra Skate, Laos, Singapore edition, Chief Lodiga, and May Warm Up Challenge, LTDL Challenge, Dutch Ultra Skate. Imagine how many races I have tried to participate and how much effort I have been putting myself, how much time I've got to myself to practice in between each races. So I've been skating constantly. I've been on the board for a very, very long time. This kind of puts some, like tiredness into my head, at the back of my head. So you need to have some recovery time between your races to perform well. Okay, so you might see the performance being affected by how often I participate between each races, how much I participate. Okay, so if I'm going to participate in most of the races, you can see like how I am affected by that. The data is going to show you that. Then I'm not going to talk about who did what and point out like he or his or her performance in the past has gone down or up. I'm not going to talk about all that, but I'm giving you a pointer in the right direction so that you can observe their performance in the previous races and today, which we are talking about Dutch Ultra Skate. Okay, then how much they are working on the weekends, as in like their usual regular practice of long distance skating. Probably they would go to one particular spot, make a U-turn and come back to their home, or they might take their long distance skateboard for the workplace. How much work they have been having, work-life balance they have been having in between these races, how much they were able to save for these races and be able to go to that particular place and participate in those races, as in like the travel, the money, the stress related to financial aids that they need to put in. Okay, it's not easy, like it's not easy for a person from Europe to go to USA and stay there for only one day to participate in one particular race and come back home. It's expensive. Okay, and it goes the same way for the person in the US to fly to Europe, participate in one particular race and come back home. It's not one weekend thing. It's expensive for them too. They have to plan, they have to work probably 1 or 2 jobs more to do all these things. So these factors might affect their performance. Okay, so the work-life balance and all those things. And are they doing the LTDL 2024? I have learned few athletes or few long distance skaters are not participating in the May warm-up challenge or Law 2-day longboard 2024 edition. So few are actually participating and few are not participating. It's for the same reasons, because they have been giving so much races this year. They have been part of many titles this year, starting from Miami Ultra Skate. Okay, so these things could affect. Okay, are they training for the heart rate zones, zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all that? I'm talking about the cross training process. Are they doing intensity training? With the cross training process, as I observe for the athletes so far, in the community, when I follow them on the Strava, I've been observing that many have been doing walking, they have been doing trail running, many have been doing uphill skating, many have been doing gravel bike racing or riding, and many have been doing running marathons. They've been running and they have been running for marathons, preparing for marathons and all that. Okay, so how much effort they have put into that, and how much positive the results have come, and how much negative impact they had on themselves due to constant workout and very less of a recovery time. Okay, so these things could definitely affect the performance of an athlete during the race hours. Okay, and you can definitely check on Strava for understanding these people's, how their performance and all that. And when they were participating in all these titles and doing their regular chores, regular day job and weekend rides, or fun rides and all that, how mentally they were prepared for for every single title they are going to do. So if Dutch Ultra Skate is like for 6 hours, how much 6 hours of pre-practice they could able to put in. Maybe it is difficult to put a 24-hour clock for yourself to practice for a Miami ultra skate or any other 24-hour ultra skate event. But 6 hours is affordable. You can do it on a weekend and come back, recover, and get back to your work life, and then do it again in the next weekend. It's possible. So how much practice they did before, how well they are sleeping, and what kind of food diet they are adapting to. Are they eating any supplements? Are they drinking a particular drink to help them aid their performance? Are they taking any vitamins and all those things? Are they taking electrolytes? What kind of food and drink they are drinking and eating during the race? There are so many factors to consider about the performance of one person. Okay, so I did interact with few people, but not in the intention of making this video of Dutch ultra skate. But I did speak casually about what they do and all that in this course of what we are in July, 7 months. Okay, I've done that even before. Okay, I can't tell what they do, but they are on the regular diet and they jump up to what is needed, like a granola bar or some sort of energy bar, muesli bar, or some bananas and electrolytes on the day of race, or during the practice session, potatoes, boiled potatoes, and all that. Okay, so you can also interact with them in Strava, Instagram, and Facebook if you happen to know them, or if you happen to learn their name and find them on those platforms. They are very open. Distance skating community is very open. You have a lot of Facebook groups to talk about all these things. You can, as a newbie, you can hit the Facebook group with all basic questions. Everybody is there to help you, and I will be there on the groups also. If I have a right answer, I will definitely answer to your question as well. Okay, so these are the common factors that will affect the race, and these are the common factors which I did not talk about when I made a video talking about the Asia Ultra Skate Singapore edition 6-hour race in 2024 video. Okay, and if you want to check about the details, you always have my video on the online. I'll give a 5-second window for you to visit the link. Here is the QR code for my video which I made for Asia Ultra Skate 2024 Singapore edition race results thing. It was a discussion about the race results of the athletes. Okay, we haven't gotten to the good part yet. Okay, I've been talking too much, but these things are essential. These are things which I missed out. And how did I know I couldn't talk about all these things? Because last time I didn't have much of data. This time I still don't have any specific data of a particular athlete, but at least I was able to mention all these things so that you can consider about this later when you're preparing for the next race that is coming in 2 weeks. I guess it's UK Ultra Skate, and then you can perform well in that. So Thane Life pointed out a few good points for me. They accepted my video, and I'm so glad. I'm very, very glad and happy that I did not sabotage the idea. Okay, so then you have the wonderful racer, Mr. Seth Tan himself, talking about humidity, the kind of setup he had, and the kind of water he was consuming, the strategy and all that, temperature, weather, and all that. Okay, so you can go and check on those video and the comments given by Thane Life themselves, and one of the wonderful skaters there in Singapore, Mr. Seth Tan. Okay, probably that's the thing that I wanted to say right now. Why? Because these are appearing to be general factors, but these are very important too. Okay, I'm going to close that tab for now, but yeah, that's my Google Doc. That's where I had the pointers written. Okay, so no, that's not the page you want to see. Where you want to go? Yeah, here. So Asia Ultra Skate 2024 Singapore edition. If you check on the results, you can't compare that with the Dutch Ultra Skate, and because both are 6-hour edition races, but you can't compare. Why? Because that happened in Changi Exhibition Center, and the track was only 959 meters. Okay, so one lap. I'm talking about one lap of the track which was in square form, okay, with some carved edges, which was only 959 meters. So in 6 hours, the athletes would have covered more number of laps, say from 100 to 140 or more, okay, laps. So we can't consider that for comparison, the races or the performance of the races back then, because these factors come there. Okay, so what are the factors which kind of took a different shape? We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so the Changi Center had a square type of tack, right? So wind that is coming through one particular channel, one particular route might have been stronger due to the taller building structure. There might have been very less trees or no trees. There might have been water body nearby that would have caused it to be more humid. The weather could have been hard. The sun could have been hard. There are many other factors which were affecting them. People were traveling from all around the world to that place, so that travel and all that. There are many other factors to consider. So that's why we can't compare the results to Dutch Ultra Skate from Singapore edition, because these are the very 6 hour race, two races that has happened in this community, long distance skating in the world for the very first time this year, and those are happening in two different tracks. Okay, and the track on Singapore is very small. The track on Dutch Ultra Skate is very big, which is like 3.185 kilometers or 1.94 something or 95 miles. So it's very big. Okay, so number of laps on Dutch Ultra Skate is going to be smaller, so you can't compare that. Okay, so what are the factors that might affect the races in particular? Okay, what are the factors that is really going to affect the races? Okay, so the first thing is travel. Okay, forgive the opacity of my brushes. Okay, so it's appearing little light. First thing is travel. So people might travel from different part of the world to that particular place where this race is happening. Okay, and then they have to prepare themselves for the time zone or the time that is there in that particular land. Okay, yeah, it might be day in your land, in your city and the country that you were in, but it might be evening there in the race country where you're participating for that race. So time zones are very different. Your sleep cycle might totally vary, and the food, the travel, the journey might have given you some lag and tiredness. Okay, you might miss the train, your flight got delayed, your train got delayed, or your train was too early. There are plenty other factors. Probably you partied that night being happy to be meeting your friends, or you stay awake for a longer time. There are many factors due to travel, the travel sickness, the food that you had in the train during the travel in the airport, a lot of things that could affect. Second thing is your sleep. Okay, so obviously if you have been there well in advance, probably you had a good sleep. Otherwise, yeah, the day before the race, you might have some performance anxiety. That happens to anybody, any good racer. So the next one is like, yeah, your quality of sleep is very important. And then you have then you want to talk about the food and electrolytes that you have, how often you have during the race or day before to prepare yourself for the race, and what kind of drinks you have been drinking. You've been conscious and drinking only healthy stuff like coconut water or raw fruits, juices and all that, or you've been drinking some like something lighter in terms of beer or any other thing to cool you down and prepare for the race and all that. That's also going to work. Your board setup, what kind of board that you have for the race, bracketed board or top mount board, or probably a smaller board, or board with a shorter wheelbase, or board with a longer wheelbase, or you have a board with bigger wheels, you have a board with smaller wheels, type of bushings that you've been employing on the board side, on the road side, which bushing, what type of diameter of the bushing that you're using, what type of hardware you're using, Did you have any backup board for the race? Did you swap your boards or swap any of the important components of your board? Did you accidentally over tighten your axle nut, which was causing some friction for you when you're riding? All these things could definitely affect. Okay, these your board setup is very much tied to your performance in terms of muscles and cramps as well. So then your mental state, okay, how well you are relaxed and how well you are prepared for the race, how cool you are, how frictionless you are, and then you have the muscle situation could be very different, because like uh, you will be all right today, it could be different tomorrow. So things could change different during the race. I have known few people and I've seen few posts from them why they couldn't perform well on Dutch ultra skate, because they had cramps, they got to quit early, or they slow down because of their muscle cramps and all that. These things could affect your race. Then comes the weather. Weather is temporary, climate is much more longer. So weather is wet or dry, you get the difference between weather and weather, right? And how hot it is, what was the temperature, what is the humidity level on that day of race. Then you have the temperature, temperature of that particular race. And how well the racetrack was maintained during the course of your racetrack. Okay, how smooth it was, how rough the pavement was, where was it is smoother on the raced course, where it was having some rough patches this year or previous year, or unfortunate stuff, and where it had the downhill, where it had the uphill, and all those things could affect if whether the racetrack have a lot of trees, shade, and all that, wind, wind, shade, trees, and whether you had a person to support you during the race, to provide you with refills of water, electrolytes, food, etc., to build your tent and all that. So those things, support system. Okay, then you have the lap distance, whether you're used to such distance doing single lap, you want to be, then your speed and pacing, you're deciding to be what you want to do in the race, whether you want to be on the first 5 people of the race, or whether you want to be on the top 10 of the race, or like whether you want to be just holding yourself up well for 6 hours. You decide those things. Then you are deciding about the positioning depending upon what you want to do. If you want to be on the in the first 5, then you got to draft yourself, you got to position yourself for the lead pack, you got to keep up to their pace. We're going to check all those things these times. Okay, and if you're looking at your heart rate zones and the intensity, how much was there for you to hold on for the entire race. And then you got to check on your lap splits in between, positive, negative, even, and all that, to improvise during the course of race. And what strategy you have. So say that you want to attack a particular lead, long distance skater, when he is doing well, when you have studied that particular long distance skater's performance, as in if he had a even split, how you're going to attack him, and be with him, but you still are going to compete him. You're not a friend, you're not a foe, but you're only a competitor along with him, but you're going to perform well, understanding his performance strategy, how he applies things. And then you have the reserves are the things which comes in the end. Okay, reserves are something when you have or hold quite a lot of energy in you, and yet call it quits, so that you can prepare yourself for the next day or the turn of events. Say, like, if I am coming flying from my country to Dutch ultra skate events place, and I'm staying there, and I need to hold some reserve in my body, the energy in my body. I can't give all out for the race, go die, like exhaust myself too much. Because like I have to get back to the hotel that I'm staying, I need to hold some energy back, right? Reserves. So then get back to the hotel, then rest myself, recover a little bit, then pack my things, go to the airport, fly back to my home. There are so many things that's there. And probably if I am from the same place where the race is happening, I might have a work tomorrow, and I have to go to the work. I might have the work stress there. I couldn't get a leave or take a day off. All those things are there. So I need to hold on to my reserves. So you call on the reserves, like whether I can go all in, or like I can hold back a little bit so that I can carry on with my day-to-day chores and day-to-day activities and all that. Whether you want party after that and go tour about the city that you have visited, you take the call on the reserves, but reserves comes in the last. But it's also important for you to recover. It happens in every single workout you do. Okay, so these are the very noticeable factors that you're going to see, and these are the noticeable factors which I wanted to discuss with every single one of you, and every single that I'm going to come across hereafter. Say a UK or any other ultra skate event, or any other skating event which I want to talk about the results or discuss about the data. These are the factors I'm going to be discussing with you guys. It might be boring, it might be repetitive, it might be new to you, but these are the factors I'm going to talk about. And probably I might gather a little more information about the athletes regarding these factors affecting them. Okay, so I've talked enough. Okay, I've spoken enough about all these things. Let's go discuss the race results. Okay, we are here at the Dutch Ultra Skate 2024 6-hour editions race here. Okay, what we want to talk about here is the weather. Most importantly, the weather, the wind, the how sunny or cloudy the day was, and how humid the day was. Okay, so I was able to get that data from Strava. This is the Dutch Ultra Skates thing or club, or probably the event that happened page on Strava. I could able to pull that somehow. I was looking at the Strava, and it appeared on my page, and I took a right direction to this link. Okay, I'll leave that QR code for a few seconds for you to access. You can scan the QR code or take a screenshot and access the QR code from the QR code scanner app that you have on your mobile phone. Or like if you're watching it on the computer, you can just use the QR code scanner on your mobile phone and go to the link, or save that link or transfer it to your desktop later from your mobile phone. Okay, so if you're on the same Wi-Fi connection, you can switch back the tabs. Okay, and then the factors that I was able to pull are from this Dutch Ultra Skate page, okay, from Strava, and it was with none other than Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel. Okay, so I could able to visit his Strava page, give it a second for it to load, and I've got all the data that I needed from the page. He had a Garmin device on him. Okay, I think the device says like Garmin Phoenix 7X, probably a solar or non-solar, I do not know. So that is the watch he had on him, and it gave and segregated all this data through the sensors that the Garmin watch had. Okay, this watch, if it is solar, it is selling for about 1,39,900 Indian rupees in India. Okay, or lesser. I don't know, depending upon the place that you're buying. Okay, so what do we have here is like for the general information, weather was like between 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, it was at 18 degrees Celsius, and from other people's data I could able to gather that it has gone up to 29 degrees Celsius, or for few people it has gone to 32 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it was varying between 18 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius for most of the people, and the wind was at 8.4 kilometer per hour, which is manageable, I think, and the Humidity was at 69%, which I couldn't say now, like if it was too humid or if it is less of a humid. It was more around 69%, so it's manageable. And wind direction was at the south. Okay, so these were conditions talking about it's cloudy. Okay, it's not sunny. So these were the conditions which were either in favor or against the athletes who were performing in Dutch ultra skate. Okay, so I think it has favored them. Looking at the results of Mr. Leonard van de Peppel, he has done about 142.66 kilometer according to the Strava app. Okay, and he has done 285 meters of elevation. Oh, those 3 meters that I was talking about. So if his looks like his one lap. So look at the blue dot over there on this map. So his one lap is it's like it starts off in this direction, in the opposite direction, and the dotted line that you see here is the end point. So it goes like this. All the thing is going like that. So it's coming in this direction. Let me grab the pen and put the thing. It is coming in this direction. Okay, pointing at that direction. Okay, so yeah. So then for few people we can find the heart rate zones and their data, or throughout every lap that they were doing, what was their heart rates and everything, so you can understand what zone they have been riding upon. 162 is pretty high in my understanding. Okay, how am I saying? If you check my Singapore edition of video, maximum heart rate formula for Fox and Haskell was 220 minus your age. This holds good for most of the people. Okay, and if you look at the age of Mr. Van de Peppel, okay, coming to this 6-hour edition's race, forgive me, I hit the different place, so a few things popped up now. If you look at the men, Mr. Leonard van de Peppel, he was born in 1918, and year of born YOB. So 1989 means 224. That's where we are living in right now. 224 minus 1989 is giving a age of 35. Okay, so what is the maximum heart rate for 35 is 220 minus 35 is 185. So when you're looking at the maximum heart rate of 185 beats per minute, if you look at Leonard van de Peppel's heart rate here, he has been doing in probably zone 4 most of the time. He has been closely maxing out his efforts, and he has been consistent around that, doing 160 or 100, between 157 to 165, and few times 174. So he has been hitting between zone 4 and zone 5 most of the time during his race. So that's incredible data we can learn and study from for the heart rate zones and how he has trained himself to perform, and his lap time, his top speed, and what is his average speed. All this data we could study from the Strava page. But what you can get from here in this race results page, I think it's better to look in the category results than the overall results, because it has mixed names between men, women, people who are above age 50 and all that, and people who have done paddle, push, pump, and people who have done only paddle and pump and all that. So it's better to categorize and see the results. As we are running out of time, we have been talking too much. Okay, so with the women, we'll start women's first, ladies first. So what do we have here? Viola Vernert, born 1983, and laps she was able to do was 40 in 5 hours 52 minutes and 42 seconds, covering 125.52 kilometers. This is in kilometers. See, distances in kilometers. If you want it in miles, you can change it to miles, or otherwise you can keep it in kilometers. Okay, so yeah, what happened? I want to be arranged in the name. Yeah, we are back again. Okay, so it's showing also in miles here on the right side, 77.992. Okay, so then we have what, this is not in proper order or what? Yeah, it's not in the proper order. Probably I want this in the position. Okay, I'm going to put it in position. Okay, that's perfect for us now. So then we have in the second place is Miss Lena Meringdill, and she has done. She was born in 2000, and her laps were like lap count is 40, and she was able to do it in 5 hours, 52 minutes, and 43 milliseconds. 43 seconds and 125.52 kilometers, or 77.992 miles. So this is where the difference coming from. Okay, do you see how the first place were divided? Because Viola Warnert and Miss Viola Warnert and Miss Lena Meringdale has done the same distance, 125.52, 125.52, but we have classified them as the first, and you have classified the other person as the second. How we have done that? How could you do that? It's only because uh, we have studied their timings. They missed the first and second place just by 1 second. Wow. How cool is that, actually? And this is very, very crucial. This is making this race to be very, very competitive in the forthcoming years. Like this 6 hour race is going to be happening. It's more like classifying cricket. In those days, we had 1 day series for the entire day, or Test cricket for more than 5 days, and 50 overs was 1 day's over thing, and later it became IPL and T20 series with very small time restrictions, like less than 5 hours or 3 hours, or probably 3 hours. Like look at that. They have compressed the race, and people have become extremely competitive, and the results are coming very, very closer. How crucial it is. It's more like the time trial races in bicycling. They calculate milliseconds there for your race. I think probably we need a camera at the starting point for if people to if they are competing with each other. Like we don't necessarily need that, but it'll be good to capture the winning moment. But also the chip don't lie. It's going to give you the data, right? Okay, and I think I so far from the social media posts I've seen, like none of them got disqualified. Okay, because in 2023 or 20, yeah, the Miami Ultra Skate, one person got disqualified due to some error, so and all that. Good, you read the yearly report, right? Okay, so it's very crucial. 1 second difference gave a different place in the podium, but though they have done the same, distance. I'm assuming it to be so because, like, that's how I read it from the data. Okay, on the third we have Perumbala Laura Perumbala, and she was born in 1980. 38 laps, 5 hours, 54 minutes, and 23 seconds, 119.244 kilometers, or 74.0924 miles. Okay, that's amazing. On the fourth, we have Miss Rosanne Delang. She is a record holder. She has done 250 miles in Dutch Ultra Skate. So, yeah, it's more important. She was born in 1986, 33 laps in 6 hour race of Dutch Ultra Skate, 5 hours, 54 minutes, and 06 seconds taken, 103.554 kilometers, 64.3434 miles. That's amazing. Then on the fifth, we have Nicole Zenekis, 1977, born 1977. Laps, 32 laps, 5 hours and 56 minutes, 49 seconds, 100.416 kilometers, or 62.3936 miles. That's amazing. We have discussed 5 positions so far. Okay, and yeah, these things really work hard. So according to the category, we have Abhi Slyman Sabrina in number 1 in certain way, because like she was in part of paddle push pump, I think, kind of thing. Okay, so kudos to the winners as well. Okay, all the great people who have participated, who have come this far to be part of Dutch Ultra Skate, your work isn't going unnoticed. So we have women, 1973 born, in the masters category, doing 42 minutes of race time, covering 3.13 miles. That's amazing. You have done great, ma'am. So, congrats to everybody on the women's category. I couldn't discuss all their names and all their kilometers only due to the time factor. We have we have the open category men. Rick Pronk, 1991 born, 45 laps, 5 hours, 55 minutes, 31 seconds, covering 141.21 kilometers or 87.741 miles. And we have the same kilometer and distance for Mr. Van de Peppel and Mr. Paul McMahon. We saw that in the Facebook page itself, and how they classified when people have the same distance. In Dutch Ultra Skate 6-hour edition as 1, 2, 3, this is where it gets even interesting, because they have calculated the seconds of completion of the race. So, first person did it in 31 seconds, second person did it in 32 seconds, and Mr. Paul McMahon ended his race well before. He did it in 5. I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't notice that. Let me come again for you. So, wait, where is brush? Okay. So Mr. Rick Prong did the race in 5 hours, 55 minutes, 31 seconds. And by 1 second, Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel missed the first position. And then by 4 minutes, Mr. Paul McMahon missed his, first position. But all of them had done same distance here, 141.21 kilometers. We are talking about seconds, about first and second places, and probably third place is only few minutes of difference, which never happened in my observation in long distance skating. Oh boy, this is getting way too competitive. On the fourth place, we have Tim Verstuer, and he has done more than 2,200 kilometers in Mevom Challenge. He is a long distance skater, born in 1997. 43 laps he did in 5 hours, 59 minutes, 14 seconds. 134.934 kilometers, 83.8414 miles. Okay. On the fifth, we have Andrew Andres, but he's also first in his own category, which is paddle paddle pump. Born 1976, 42 laps, 5 hours, 59 minutes, 16 seconds taken, 131.796 kilometers covered, 81.8916 miles. That is amazing. And congrats to everyone. Stefan Granso was part of paddle push pump, I think, and he was able to do it in 5 hours, 58 minutes, 44 seconds, 39 laps, born 1984, distance 122.382 kilometers or 76.0422 miles. So that's amazing. I couldn't be able to discuss everything here with the race results, but I'm grabbing the people that I know and be able to talk about that. Mr. Hedwin Kruzbik, we spoke about him in the group photo, 1990 born. That he did 36 laps, 5 hours, 59 minutes, 13 seconds, taken 112.968 kilometers or 70.1928 miles. That's amazing, sir. He's been our ardent supporter since the day when I started my long distance skating, who is coming from a very, very far land. He put the trust in me. That's amazing. Thank you so much, sir. We have Barney Brumer, a 1964 born, Masters category. Amazing. We have Witzel Hoger here, 551.46, 553.03, both on 109.83 kilometers, 68.243 miles. That's amazing. So you could see all these results, and be able to study what they have done. So that's in the open category, with a lot of people covering paddle push, paddle pump, push, and the masters, and only push and pump, and women. Okay, and masters women. Okay, so you can see Mr. Androsek Sip, born 1971, doing 17 laps with 5 hours and 59 seconds, 5 hours and 48 minutes and 59 seconds, and doing 53.346 kilometers or 33.1466 miles. So we have wonderful people doing wonderful things in these races with great spirit. Okay, so these are the their distance, time taken, and their position in the race in the particular category they participated, being women, men, masters, age over 50, and SUP plus SUP and all that. So these things are data, and we could understand how close it was. That's very, very interesting. Okay, so if you want to check on the lap details, that's when it gets even more interesting. So if you want to take Mr. Sabrina Abi Slimon, her every individual lap, you know, how much time she has taken to complete that 3.185 kilometers. You can study, like, she has been very, very consistent in most of her lap, until uh, 21 laps. She has been doing this. Is for most of the people, like, the performance is more like negative splits. So they or even in negative split, or even in positive split, uh, or even, okay, it's more like that, but mostly even negative split. That's what I see. Negative split is as in, like, they are slow in the initial thing, or even in their initial point of the race, and slow down at the end of the race. Okay, so until 21 laps, she is consistently keeping around 12 minutes as her race timing. There is 17 minutes gap over there. Probably she took a break or something, and later her lap timings dropped to 13 minutes, and then she improved. So it's more all the three combined in the lap splits. So you can learn about the lap splits of every individual athletes. So every for every single lap, he has been giving 7 minutes and 20 seconds for sure, and then it dropped to 8 and 9 minutes. Okay, and then he picked it up to 8 minutes in the later races. So they have, even then they have the positive thing happening, and then they have the negative thing happening as well. So you could study the lap splits of every single person, for every 22 or whatever laps they did for the entire race of 6 hours time, coming from the chip they had on them. So for Mr. Barney Broomer, this is the lap splits. So lap splits, it's really rare to get, because Strava doesn't provide you lap splits for long distance skating or bicycling. It only provides lap splits for walking or running, or some other activity like that. So it's a very, very rare thing to understand. And if you check on the results, like, for now, like, let's go to Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel. I'll try to compare only one result. Okay, I've given you the link so that you can check on these data, the data that they have provided with the chip they had on them during the race, the lap counting thing, electronic lap counting thing, and to the GPS data that they have here. It's almost same. Okay, but the GPS data has giving even more data, because it had wonderful sensors with them. So they could give you the speed. Maximum speed is like 33.6 kilometer, average was 23.8. His heart rate jumping from 165 to 180, we calculated his maximum heart rate, which was 185, and all that. So it's amazing. So what I understand is, like, Mr. Rick Pronk and Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel, they were the first and two positions in open category. If you want to check on Mr. Andrew Andres, you can also do that with Strava. But for the cross training process, both of them had a common thing, like, they run a lot. Okay, despite doing the gravel biking, bicycling, and Zwift activities, the Rick Pronk and Leonard Van der Peppel have been doing running as their cross training process, and a little bit of uphill racing as well. So if you are going to adapt running as a cross training process for long distance skating, it could work efficiently for you. And probably they are also on the lighter weight category, and they have been eating well. They have been always keeping their body active as an athlete throughout all the seasons, as in, like, summer, winter, rainy season, summer, rainy, winter, spring, autumn, and all that, all the seasons, they have been athletic all the time. And running especially is noticeable aspect what they have been doing. You can see the lap splits, maximum speed, and all that from Mr. Rick Prawn's page for Dutch Ultra Skate, how he has performed. So you can compare that Strava data to the data that they have. It's almost similar for the lap splits, but this is more accurate for Leonard Van de Peppel. He has adapted to mostly even, and then to the negative lap split, because there is some variation in the end. Okay, as in he has slowed down, not no positive lap split, as in like he has slowed down later. Okay, so yeah, these things are going to help you a lot, and like how you are planning. He is in the top pack, lead pack, wherein like he is going to do the maximum number of laps, and there were few in the middle category where they were going to do less number of laps, as in like under 40 or under 30 or something, and people who done lesser than that, all that. These things are repetitive for you probably, but these are the strategies that you can learn from the data that is already available, and by studying their like social media post and all that, like they'll be thanking many people, and also they'll be saying like how they have been experiencing that particular event. Say in this case Dutch ultra skate, how they have experienced it. Initially it was I felt it this way, later I felt it this way, and later I felt it this way. So comparing to that kind of write up or the story they have given on the social media, comparing it to the actual chip data that you have from the myraceresults.com, and comparing it to the data from the Strava, which has all the GPS and barometer sensors and whatnot, heart rate sensors and everything, you can come up with the understanding of how they have been performing and how they have given their results with the heart rate zones and everything, for that race to make it to that position and that race to complete those maximum number of laps. So this has been a very, very learning experience for me. Okay, so as I studied actually 4 to 5 people's data, and depending upon the device they had on them to track the GPS thing and other things for to put it on Strava, maybe a mobile phone or maybe a watch or separate heart rate sensor just tied up to their heart or to their chest, like they have many things to talk about, from heart rate zones to speed and time, lap splits and everything, so you can learn a lot from that. uh, in between we saw some my Excel sheet kind of thing, which is talking about targeted heart rates for all HR zones, all HR zones from zone 1 to zone 5. I've been working on some Excel sheet wherein like if you feed in your resting heart rate and your age, it will do some formulas and give you the zones, lower limit heart rates to upper limit heart rates, automatically doing all the calculations for all the 5 zones. And you will know like today's, because resting heart rate for you will vary upon every single day depending upon the quality of sleep and a lot of things that is to your physical thing, food, drink, sleep, your mental activity state and everything, your workload, work life balance and all that, so every morning when you take the RHR and you put it in there, and that data will give you the zones that you're training in. So if you're training in zone 2, that's the upper limit of heart rate and that's the lower limit of heart rate. I've been working on that. I will discuss this in detail in my bicycling videos, because I've been doing a detailed cover up about RPE, the rate of perceived exertion, and I've been talking a lot about the heart rate zones and high intensity interval training and all that. So this is continuation of those episodes. We'll see that later. Okay, but this has been an incredible learning experience for me with Dutch Ultra Skate. So I'm very, very thankful to Dutch Ultra Skate organizers and the team and long distance skating community, and to the one of the finest long distance skaters we have seen, Rick Pronk, Van de Peppel, Andre Andras, Viola Warner, Lena Middington, many people, which forgive me if I had missed out few, like they've been very kind, and these data are going to improvise, help us improvise what we were yesterday and what we are going to be tomorrow and today and tomorrow. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about this. To me it was all the best learning, talking about these travel, sleep, food, drink, electrolytes, your board setup, mental state, muscle situation, weather, humidity, temperature, racetrack aspects, as in like shade and no shade, lap distance, lap timing, speed, pacing, positioning, intensity training, lap split strategies and reserves. So these things have been my learning. from Dutch Ultrascape. So though I couldn't discuss for every single player, I have highlighted few who have been on the top list. You can use such data and to learn them from Strava as well. So comparing social media posts, their story, and comparing it to the data that you have from the actual race, and then to the data that is there on the Strava with the all other sensors they had on them during the race. It's going to give you a quite knowledge, and then you can apply that to the thing that you're doing, either bicycling or running or probably long distance skating itself. You can apply that and improvise. So yeah, that's have been my learning. Hope this video was useful. As in, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, study them, study every single race that is possible, study every single data that is available to you. It's going to improve you, not as in, like, physically as such. I'm a big size guy, I'm fat, but the way I apply my knowledge, or like the way I learn, I'm subconsciously preparing myself to be a better person tomorrow when I'm doing my activity, little better than what I was yesterday. That's what I'm aiming at. I'm not competing with the greatest of the greatest in the world as in the list, but I'm competing with myself, the person I was yesterday and the person I'm today. I know I'm a little better than what I was yesterday. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you can apply this knowledge when you're going for Dutch Ultraskate next year. Okay, so you know where that is happening, how the racetracks is. If you check on the data here, you can see the elevation that is happening. Grade is 0.8%, and maximum it shoots up to 3 meters. That's it. And or 6%, 3 meters to 4 meters, not more than that. That's what it's giving. And the grade of the elevation or decline of the uphill and downhill, all these things, you can learn the entire lap like that and plan yourself where you want to position yourself with the lead pack or the pack in the middle, or the relaxed and cool pack who just want to be part of the race and all that. So yeah, the food, electrolytes that you want to have, when and what, and all that, and apply this knowledge in the next race or the forthcoming race, which is UK Ultraskate. The track is different, the day is different. It's also a 6-hour race, I understand, but the application of the logic and the learning that you have from here can be put in there, and you can be a better person than what you were on Dutch Ultraskate as well. That's what I'm trying to say. So hope this video was useful, or you might scrap it as nonsense, but either way, it's a learning process for me. Please do let me know how it is. It is a very, very long video, forgive me. And please do let me know in the comments what I can improvise, what I can add to it, what I can learn from it, what you want to add and make me learn from other than what I have discussed in this video. Please do let me know. Let's grow together. This is Krishnan Srinivasan signing off. Nandri. Here is Mr. K. Peace. And Alien Kicha signing off. Bye bye bye.